I convene the August 13th, 2025 regular board meeting to order at 7 p.m. Jackie, please call the roll.
Emily Lisle.
Here.
Vanessa Berry.
Here.
Debbie Bryan, absent. Josh Martin.
Here.
Karen Larson, absent. Laura Paley.
Here.
Liz Sullivan.
Here.
Thank you. Agenda item number 2 is opportunity for visitors to speak. Public comment is for the general public to address the board. Each person will have up to 5 minutes to provide public comment. Seeing none, we will move on to agenda item number 3, which acknowledges that Vice President Berry and Trustee Paley reviewed the July billings in August, and that President Swistak and Trustee Sullivan will review the August billings in September. However, the minutes will reflect that President Swistak reviewed the July billings in August, as I still have to train Trustee Paley on the bill review process. All right. Agenda item number 4 is the consent agenda. Is there a trustee who wishes to pull something from the consent agenda? If not, may I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda, which includes the minutes of the July 16, 2025 board meeting and executive session, the minutes of the July 22, 2025 strategic planning committee meeting, July 31, 2025 treasurer's report, investment activity report, current asset report, revenue report, expense report, and the August 13, 2025 payment of bills.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, roll call please.
Emily Swistak.
Aye.
Vanessa Berry.
Aye.
Josh Martin.
Aye.
Laura Paley.
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Agenda item number 5 is unfinished business related to capital projects. 5A, 1, 2, and 3 include updates on the BAS project, the HVAC project, and Kingston Lot Development work. Mark, can you please walk us through the discussion items?
Of course, and hopefully
Thank you.
1 and 2 will be finished soon,
Okay.
not unfinished. BS project update, the wiring was completed. The system is up and running. There are still bugs. We got a list well put together of some of the bugs that still need to be worked through, but at this point it is communicating. It should be working through those bugs and getting things sorted out. It's not to say they won't find equipment issues and things like that now that everything is communicating. At that point it probably isn't an IBS, it'd be fixes and whatever else to get it squared away. But final training needs to be scheduled, final touch-up of any of the sequence of operations issues, and then we should be able to move on from that contract, which is good news. HVAC is basically complete. We need to do some final closeout paperwork, and that's really about it. They had a couple punch list items they need to take care of, which I believe have been taken care of. So I'm not aware of anything other than paperwork that needs to be taken care of at this point for them. So both of those, at least the HVAC, might even be coming off next month. Don't have to update on those. Good news there. Kingston Lot Development, we have been meeting routinely with the designer. We're going through some preliminary concepts, and we will plan to present those to you guys next month, which is great news. So we're right on track.
Great. Thank you. Does anyone have questions for Mark? Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah,
Thank
of course.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Look
Good
at that,
luck
you're
with
out at
school.
7:03. Wow.
Have
Have a good night. Thank you. Moving on, agenda item number 6 is committee reports. 6A is finance. Debbie is not here, but we did not have a meeting.
We have nothing planned.
Nothing planned. 6B is personnel and policy.
We met on the 4th, and there's stuff to go over later in the meeting.
Awesome, thank you. 6C, physical plant. Any report?
Nothing to report.
Okay. 6D is strategic planning. As the strategic planning committee has met 7 times and has finalized a plan that the board will adopt this evening, I officially retire this committee. Okay. And then 6E is committee to review minutes. As Trustee Paley and I have reviewed the last fiscal year's minutes as required by IPLAR, I officially retire this committee as well. All right, good deal. Awesome. Moving on. Agenda item number 7 is staff reports. 7A is the director's report. Director Weinstein.
Okay, so last month I mentioned the emergency management training scenario and tabletop exercise. They should really use an acronym for that one. So I'm not going to rehash it, but I just wanted it in my written report for documentation purposes, and I just want to reiterate that the library always appreciates being invited to these emergency meetings. Moving on, summer read. We had a great summer read this year. Our stats are in. We had a total of 1,500 12 registrants, and there are some top titles listed in my report. I actually think this is our first year that not one Harry Potter title was ever mentioned. I really do,
Yeah.
because like every year since they were published, there was
Wow.
always one Harry Potter
Yeah.
title as a top pick, so it's the first year for that one. So really great work with all of the departments and promotional activities, and our summer read kickoff party went well, so it was just a great event. Moving on is the intergovernmental meeting at Village Hall. As I do every time I attend one, I list the attendees and just a summary of what's discussed there. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. And then Mark already discussed the Kingston lot a bit. All I'll say is it was good to walk with Tara. Both Will and I walked the property. We discussed the community survey and the desires of the community for that property, as well as the desires of staff for that property. So it was good to walk through with them, and also, as Mark mentioned, we had some Zoom meetings with them too, all very good so far. It's also really important to connect with the neighbor, which I did talk to him. He's 100% behind this project. I assured him I'd connect with him on any like developments or activities that would be happening on that property, but he's very much excited about it, so that's all good news. I will skip the Personnel and Policy Committee notes here until we get to those items. I'll do the same with the tentative budget and appropriation ordinance. And then just moving on to a couple of partnerships we've had recently. We partnered with 2 good organizations this month to host donation boxes. The first one being West Suburban Food Pantry. This was actually a junior committee effort. I talked to some students and we got that box going. We collected some school supplies for kids, and that box has now gone off to help some people out. And the next box we have is the Metropolitan Family Services. DuPage County Board member Paula Deacon Garcia helped with that effort, and we're still collecting for families in need for like baby wipes, personal care items, deodorant, shaving cream, and things like that. And that, I think, goes through the end of the month. And then next, on August 5th, staff members Angela, Rochelle, and Mallory spoke to over 500 attendees at National Night Out. It was a really great event. They highlighted a number of our resources and services there. Got to pet some dogs too. They were happy about that. I met with a number of my intergovernmental colleagues, Chief Rodriguez, Officer McKay. I met some new police staff, like a new analyst. Really great to meet some new people on the police force. Village Manager Cook, Mayor Mullen was there. Trustees from other agencies, as well as Representative Tara Costa Howard was there, and Senator Laura Ellman was there. Just a really great event. And then lastly, and new to my report, there are some of those additional director and board communications, just a few bullet points there about some things that happen in the mix between meetings and between my report. So if there are any questions on those, I'm happy to respond to those questions. You're welcome.
Does anyone have any questions for the director?
How many neighbors are there along that south property? And is the one you spoke to about the development the same one who said the tree was
No.
the windfall? That's a different
Yes.
neighbor.
Yeah, the there's only one neighbor that's right
Right.
next to the vacant lot. and
Right.
He's the one who's 100%. The other neighbor is on the south, further south and further east.
Got it. Okay.
Different neighbor.
Yep.
Yes.
Just curious.
Yes.
Any other questions for the director at this time? Okay, thank you. Then we'll move on to 7G, the Assistant Director's Report. Assistant Director Savage.
Great. So I have some repeats. So as Mr. Rogers and the director mentioned, we've met with Tara a couple times, walked around. We've seen a few proposals, and they've taken our feedback and showed us some more. So we're excited about what, like Mark mentioned, they're going to present to you guys next month. IPLAR is an annual report that we have to assemble for the state every year. It basically starts at the end of our fiscal year, and I have to harangue the department directors to give me those numbers because it is a lot of work, and the questions change every year, and it is a pain, but they do a great job. And so I want to thank all the department directors and IT staff for getting all those numbers for me, because it is confusing and strange, and I have to go back and say, well, actually, this word means they're asking for a totally different number now. But so we've got that for you to see in the files, and again, it's a lot of work that the department directors and IT staff do, so kudos to them. And then with regards to the facility, we're getting the parking lot resealed, crack-filled, and restriped over the Labor Day weekend. So we've got that set up on August 31st and September 1st, which will restrict access to the book drops, but they're going to be doing it when we're not open to the public. So the least resistance for our patrons. And then, as Mark mentioned, IBS and OneSource have been working. OneSource is basically wrapped up. But we had some issues a few weeks ago where there was a defective freeze stat on one of the air handler units that was causing everything to shut down prematurely. We have replaced that stat, and since then we have not had any, knock on wood, issues we've had to call them about.
Thank you. I have a question about the Labor Day weekend then. So access to the book drops will be closed at that time. Will we be posting about that on social media and all of that so people, patrons know?
Yep.
And we're fine free, so that's not an issue, right?
No.
Like,
Yes.
but it's just far as letting them know they will be able to access it.
Yeah, and what we've done in the past is circulation staff can go in and change the check-in date where we've done it, like even if it is dropped, when we get it on the 2nd, we'd give people a grace period of 2 days.
Okay.
Because they weren't able to return
Right.
their items, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions for the assistant director?
Yeah, I have a question on the IPLAR. Am I
Yes,
saying it right?
you are, yes.
Okay, on page 64 of the IPLAR,
What's the number of the question that might trigger something in my brain?
it's 25.1 through 25.5.
Okay.
It was,
It's the very last page of the FR.
yeah,
Perfect.
Right before the
Thank
strategic
you.
plan.
Yes.
these are questions we didn't answer about a secretary's audit, and it said district libraries only.
So, yes, this is once you guys get your hands on all the other numbers and approve everything else, then we go in
Check
and
the
we'll check the box.
Okay.
And that means that everything has gone through and we are, so that, yes, those should be blank for now.
Okay,
Because we approve everything else first.
gotcha.
And then before we submit, we finish that up and put in the audit, like
Gotcha.
approvals.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Good question.
No, yeah.
Somebody does read your stuff.
It is appreciated, Liz.
Any other questions for the assistant director?
I did actually have another,
On
like
the
correction on that. It had Karen Larson's term ending as 2029 instead of 2027.
Yes, 2027.
Oh.
You
I
got
caught that
Jackie?
because I was
Good
like,
catch.
2029
Wow.
seems really far away. I
Yeah.
guess it's not.
I even read that too, but did not
And I
notice
glossed
the
over
year.
that because I was just
Yeah.
looking at my own.
Oh, yeah.
For the public packet, your street addresses are blanked out.
Thank you,
your
we noticed
control number
that.
is blanked out,
Yeah.
just
I
because
noticed
But
that.
it'll be there when
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Any other
Wow.
questions for the assistant director? Okay, thank you. All right, then, agenda item number 8 is new business. 8A is to approve the tentative budget and appropriation ordinance 25-04. May I have a motion and a second, and then the director can provide an explanation.
I move to approve the LLD tentative budget and appropriation ordinance 25-04, an ordinance of such sums of money as may be deemed necessary to defray all necessary expenses and liabilities of the Lisle Library District for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Director Weinstein?
Sure. Okay, so the B&A is an ordinance that Illinois taxing districts must adopt in order to spend the funding the library receives. So basically, it lays out our legal spending limit per budget line. We present the tentative B&A in August, and then we pass the B&A in September with a hearing that precedes the meeting. So when we draft the B&A, we use pre-audited numbers, vendor estimates, project management expertise like from folks like CCS. We use our financial advisors, recommendations, and then we use the working budget to draft the ordinance. And then after we draft the ordinance, we send it to our attorney, and Mr. Ritzman has affirmed that it's good to go as presented in the packet. So if you take a look at the ordinance, the budget column shows the working budget numbers, and the appropriation column designates the library's authorization to expend funds for any necessary obligations that extend beyond our budgeted categories. So I've outlined this in the overview document that's in the packet. I just want to be clear for the public that the appropriation column is not our intention to spend this amount. It's an allowance to spend should we require spending beyond what we've planned for. So this could go for something like if we had a lot of weather, like serious weather events, and we had to have additional trees taken down or something like that. Or if gas or electricity expenses go through the roof. Just having this flexibility during this kind of economy with the tariffs, everything that's going on right now, allowing for that flexibility is important. So as you all know, the library has 4 major funds, the corporate, IMRF, FICA, and special. And I'm going to give a very general summary of the appropriation increases next, just because we have a full agenda tonight. The corporate fund shows a 42% increase in allowance from budget to appropriation. And again, this accounts for those unintended potential operating expenses. It also allows for a transfer of additional funds to the special reserve for the capital improvement projects, as well as it allows for a large allowance for potential grant expenditures of $1 million for the capital improvement project. So we are going to try for a grant. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to get one, but we need to allow for it in the appropriation should we receive, let's say we receive a $1 million grant for the property. We have to put it in our appropriation to be able to spend it. That's why that is there. So if received, we need to include it. The special reserve fund shows an appropriation allowance of 49%. Again, this provision provides for expenditures in our capital and for the capital improvement project for the Kingston lot. So that's a very brief, but if there is any other questions, it really is just an allowance, some flexibility to allow for increases that we don't anticipate. Makes sense?
Does anyone have any questions for the director about the tentative budget and appropriation?
No.
No? Okay. Then, roll call please.
Emily Swister.
Aye.
Vanessa Berry.
Aye.
Josh Martin.
Aye.
Laura Bailey.
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, thank you. 8B is to accept the Illinois Public Library Annual Report, otherwise known as the IPLAR. May I have a motion and a second, and then the director can provide a summary?
Please, go right ahead.
I move to accept the Illinois Public Library Annual Report, more commonly known as the IPLAR report, a report that will be submitted online to the state library as a condition of system membership.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Director Weinstein, I know we talked about it a little bit
Yeah.
already, but
Well,
if you can go a little bit further.
Yeah, well, Will already gave a great explanation. It also required for certain grant opportunities that we submit this report, and as Will just mentioned, thank you to the department directors, IT staff, and Will for lassoing everybody up and getting everything together for my reviews for all of you to see. So.
And Jackie,
Yeah.
gotta thank Jackie too.
Yes.
Forgot about that.
Okay, and then, so then the questions that we asked, so about the date, that'll get fixed?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the other stuff will get populated in after?
Yes.
Words, okay. All right, wonderful. Any other questions? Okay, roll call please.
Emily Swister.
Aye.
Vanessa Berry.
Aye.
Josh Martin.
Aye.
Laura Bailey.
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. It's so quick with not all 7.
I know.
Waiting for more, nope. Okay, 8C is to adopt the LLD 2025-2028 strategic plan. May I have a motion and a second?
I move to adopt the Lisle Library District 2025 to 2028 strategic plan.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Director Weinstein, if you'd like to lead a discussion and then go from there.
Well, this is the final draft after 7 meetings, so again, thanking everyone for their input. I want to thank the community for their input via the survey, as well as the focus groups. And I think we have some really great categories to guide us through the next 3 years. So that's really all I have to say. I mean, and whatever's in, and this is our final look at it until and we will probably publish it on the website on Friday. We'll upload it, and we'll also do some social media on Friday too.
Great.
And did you see, Laura, that Marjorie got
I
added?
did.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that. Any further discussion on this? I know we discussed it at the last strategic planning meeting. Any other feedback on that before we say, yep, it's great and we're ready? Okay,
Good.
Good.
roll call please.
Emily Swister.
Aye.
Vanessa Berry.
Aye.
Josh Martin.
Aye.
Laura Bailey.
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. 8D is to approve revisions to LLD policy 610, patron code of conduct. May I have a motion and a second?
I move to approve revisions to LLD policy 610, patron code of conduct.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Director Weinstein?
Okay, so before we go through these policies, I just want to mention that the upcoming policies were in need of revision and updating due to a few recent occurrences at the library, to remove outdated information, of course, clarifications as well, and to add a few policy points so staff can better address some behavioral situations in the building. That is why they came to be. And everyone has a strikeout version in front of them and a clean copy, and I'll just go over the main points. I'm not going to go over all the detail because the Personnel and Policy Committee did a great job at proofreading. So the patron code of conduct, the main points are, we're removing the word loitering from number 2. We're not going to permit cooking on the public floor in number 4. We're going to better outline proper attire under number 8, and under number 22, we're rewording this to allow patrons to remain on property after closing or before opening, but still affirming that if you're asked to leave for behavioral reasons, you still need to leave. Those are the main points. There were some other clarifications, but if there's any questions or things to change, we should address those now.
I think you guys did a great job of doing this. Thank you. Sorry I wasn't able to be at the meeting to help, but I think you did a wonderful job. There was one thing that I caught, which was,
Hold on.
yeah, in the second to bottom paragraph, there's an A with a strike through in it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, there
that's
is.
just my bad eyes, but yes, we'll take care of that.
That was the only thing that I saw. Was
All right, let me get
So,
there.
page
So,
75, and just, it's just
Yeah.
where is it?
right here.
Oh.
It's got a strike through.
All right.
That's it.
Okay.
So. Anyone else have anything, any comments, further discussion on that?
The changes make sense.
Great.
No cookies.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call please.
Emily Swister.
Aye.
Vanessa Berry.
Aye.
Josh Martin.
Aye.
Laura Bailey.
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, thank you. 8E is to approve revisions to LLD policy 815, personal vehicle use for library activities. May I have a motion and a second?
I move to approve revisions to LLD policy 815, personal vehicle use for library activities.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. Director Weinstein.
Sure. So the main points on this policy are that we changed the title to use the term activities, and then we footnoted definitions at the bottom. We then separated policy into A and B for clarification and clarity. We removed the title finance director from the policy because we no longer have a finance director and haven't for a long time. We delineated who needs to show proof of insurance, and which now includes volunteers if they drive for us. And we've always asked volunteers for their proof of insurance in the past. It was like best practice, but we never had it in our policy, so we need it in our policy. And then we listed the guidelines for reimbursement.
Great, thank you. Any questions or, yes?
I was just interested when volunteers drive for the library, what does that mean?
Home delivery. So our home delivery service, we have
got
adult
it.
volunteers who deliver to like
Okay,
Brookdale and things like that.
understood, thank you.
Any further questions or any comments? Okay, Jackie, please call the roll.
Emily Swister.
Aye.
Vanessa Berry.
Aye.
Josh Martin.
Aye.
Laura Bailey.
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes. 8F is to approve revisions to LLD policy 830, employee and volunteer reference / background checks. May I have a motion and a second?
I move to approve revisions to LLD policy 830, employee and volunteer reference / background checks.
I'll second.
Okay, motion is second. Director Weinstein?
Yes, again, we removed the title finance director from this policy. provide more clarity under D, procedures. Just tells you who does what and where files are held. That's basically it.
Any questions or discussion points on that? Okay, roll call please.
Emily Swister.
Aye.
Vanessa Berry.
Aye.
Josh Martin.
Aye.
Laura Paley.
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, thank you. 8G is to approve revisions to LLD policy 850, section 14E, floating holidays. May I have a motion and a second, and then the director will provide a summary.
I move to approve revisions to LLD policy 850, section 14E, floating holidays.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second, Director Weinstein?
Now, this one's very simple. The board authorized Juneteenth as a floating holiday, and we added it to the policy.
Any questions about that one, further discussion? Great, Jackie, please call the roll.
Emily Swister.
Aye.
Vanessa Berry.
Aye.
Josh Martin.
Aye.
Laura Paley.
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes. 8H is to approve revisions to LLD policy 850, section 14H, insurance. May I have a motion and a second, and then Director Weinstein will provide a summary.
I move to approve revisions to LLD policy 850, section 14H, insurance.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second, Director Weinstein?
Yes, so everything here stays the same outside of an added paragraph under H5, where it clarifies that staff who retire and choose to continue insurance coverage using the library's provider, at their own cost, of course, should have their premiums deducted from their retirement account instead of sending the library a paper check. This just ensures that payments are more timely, things don't get lost in the shuffle. So that's about it
Okay.
on that one.
Any questions about that one?
Only on the word regularly,
Okay.
simply because I don't see it anywhere else in the section. What is regularly defined as?
Insured staff who retire and regularly work 30 hours, 30 or more hours a week. So it just means that if they're primarily working 30 hours a week, or if they've changed at any time, but if their regular schedule is 30 hours a week, sometimes they can go 32, sometimes they can.
Sure.
But 30 is the delineator for health insurance.
Right, right.
So basically, if they qualified for health
Yes.
insurance as
Yeah.
employees.
Do
Okay.
you want to change the word?
Only because in the first part, in I, it says who employed at least 30 hours per week, at least 130 hours in a calendar month on average over the previous 12 months. Seems just like that's what we mean to say. Might use the same language.
Or should we just say a full-time employee, that was a full-time employee, just like it is in I up there above? You know what I mean, something related
Right,
back to that.
right.
Because it's already defining what it is.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know if someone who works 30 hours a week once a month qualifies as regularly working 30 hours a week.
Jackie's saying no.
Right.
So we can just employ that language down here, if that's,
So,
Makes sense.
so then we could have just the whole thing in there again, just about like.
we can, just to be clear.
Insured staff who retire
And
as a full-time employee, as defined, like, from just whatever it is from above.
As defined in section H1.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
nice.
as
Yeah,
defined, yeah,
I like that. I think, Emily, you said that. I think
Yeah.
that's the way to do it.
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
One.
Yeah, if you're
Okay.
fine with that, Josh.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right,
So-
so as defined in section 1.
So in the insured staff who retire as a full-time employee as defined in H.
H-I.
Or
Oh, yeah.
Well,
H
that's-
Roman numeral 1.
Should those be different? Should that be,
H1, it's 1.
no, I know,
It's
but
one.
it's the Roman numeral I, so that's why, I mean, I know it's,
I'll just replicate
Emily's
what
gonna
it looks
renumber
like.
the whole section
no,
now.
I'm not gonna remember the whole thing. But, yeah, just so that we know that it's,
Well, this was one of those sections where it was like.
there's like
Yeah.
so many.
It gets so
many,
indented,
I
it's
know, I know.
1
Because it's the
A-I
employee handbook, and there's
dash,
so much
yes.
information in there.
Okay, I got it. So insured staff who retired as a full-time employee as defined in section 14H1.
There you go.
Perfect.
That's perfect, thank you.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
Good.
okay.
Great.
So then, any other questions or comments on that one?
Oh, well
Okay,
done.
so then we'll be voting on it as
As amended.
amended.
Okay.
Okay. Do we need to say that again or no?
You should just modify your motion.
Modify the motion. Ooh, which one is this number? 850?
850. And just say as amended.
14H, right?
Yes.
I move to approve revisions to LLD policy 850, section 14H, insurance as amended.
I'll second.
There we go.
Any further discussion? Okay, roll call please.
Emily Swissack,
Aye.
Vanessa Berry,
Aye.
Josh Martin,
Aye.
Laura Bailey,
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
And the other one that we just, that strikeout, that was just a scrivener's error.
Yes.
We don't need to do anything.
Okay, good. Okay, so then, now we need to go into executive session. So, right, 9A. Oh, there we go, wait, I've got stuff to say, sorry. Items 8I and J include the semi-annual review of executive session minutes and review of executive session recordings more than 18 months old. To take action, I'll entertain a motion and a second to go into executive session under agenda item 9. Whoever makes the motion, please read aloud the full citation. We will then return to agenda item 8I and J after executive session. May I have a motion and a second?
I move to go into executive session under 5 ILCS 120/2-C21, the discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under this act, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by section 2.06.
A second? Oh,
Okay, who wants it? Barry, okay. Barry, got it.
there you go.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, roll call please.
Emily Swissack.
Aye.
Vanessa Berry.
Aye.
Josh Martin,
Aye.
Laura Bailey,
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, so we will be going into executive session. Okay, we are now back in open session at 7:40 PM. May I have a motion and a second for agenda item 8I, please?
I move to release the February 19th, 2025 minutes of the LLD Board of Trustees.
I'll second.
Do we need to say executive session? Can you say it again?
Sure.
Executive session minutes.
I move to release the February 19th, 2025 discussion of executive session minutes and recordings from the minutes of the LLD Board of Trustees.
Aye. Second.
Okay, discussion? Okay, roll call please.
Emily Swissack.
Aye.
Vanessa Berry,
Aye.
Josh Martin,
Aye.
Laura Bailey,
Aye.
Liz Sullivan.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, thank you. 8J, which was the review of executive session recordings more than 18 months old. We are not taking action on that item this evening. Okay, agenda item number 10 is opportunity for trustee comments. Trustee Sullivan.
I was just going to comment that I really like on the circulation report, the computer and technology programs. We've got year over year an increase of 233%. And I'm like, we must be doing something right to get the attendees. It's not that we're doing that many more programs, I don't think. I think it's that we're hitting what the attendees need. So that's great.
We just had a department director meeting and Director Hopkins mentioned that our genealogy classes are really upticking and there's a huge interest, there's more interest in more genealogy classes and using these genealogy databases, so we're going to uptick those a little bit more too.
Oh,
Great.
cool.
That's nice.
Thank you. Okay, Trustee Paley?
I had some feedback from a neighbor and patron who have young children recently, and she, unprompted, we were not talking about the library whatsoever, she just mentioned it and asked, "Are you a library trustee now?" And I said, "Yes." I don't know her very well. She wanted me to make sure to comment on some of the new items for really little ones in the youth services area. I'm reading this now. Little activity cube, puzzle, maze, toys, bunch of blocks, and sensory music tubes. new softer mats for the floors for babies. She has a little one who's face planting a lot and learning to walk. Anyway, spent a good deal of time telling me how awesome the new toys and items are in the baby and tot area. So I just wanted to make sure to mention that.
That's great.
I myself don't use that area anymore.
It's really
So haven't
great.
noticed, but it's nice to hear that.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
wanted to share that with
Director Ferrari
you.
put up a lot of like sensory items for
Mhm.
kids all around. So if you walk through youth services, you might miss some of them, but if you go around the perimeter, you'll see
Mhm.
some of these cute like play, and then there's some gel
Yeah.
pads to step on and things.
Yeah,
Wonderful. Thank you.
they're getting a lot of good feedback.
Great.
There we go.
Secretary Martin.
Just wanted to say, I was not here for the final strategic planning meeting, but thank you to everyone who was and for getting that across the finish line. Excited about how that came together to a really, I think, well-defined, well-crafted plan for the next 3 years. Looking forward to executing that and also tying it in with some of the hopeful eventual physical improvements to the outdoor spaces. So, on a related note, while I was out of the country, we were visiting some relatives and they had a community library as well in Austria that had a very interesting outdoor space incorporated as part of their library as well. So I just found it interesting that that's something that we are currently evaluating, and at the same time it was something that my kids and the nieces from probably about 7 years old all the way up to 16 were thoroughly enjoying. So really looking forward to what the strategic plan holds for us in the future.
Great, thank you. Vice President Berry.
I just wanted to say great job on the summer read. I feel like the numbers just keep going up, and it's such a great way to like keep the kids actually reading over the summer. I think like, I know you're not supposed to bribe your children, but it definitely helps to be like, let's
said
meet these
that?
goals, and it, almost like a competition amongst yourselves of like, who can read the most books. So we had a great time, so thank you.
Thank you. And then just me. I'd like to say thank you to the Personnel Policy Committee for all the work that you did on the policies. It's really great. I'd love to see that kind of come to fruition, so I appreciate that. I want to echo what Assistant Director Savage said and Director Weinstein about the IPLAR and about all the work that you put in, and also all the department directors to get that information. So thank you for that. Also summer read, it's always feels kind of like bittersweet when it ends, because then it's like, oh, now it's back into the swing of things, but I'm looking forward to Fall Fest, which is in a few weeks, or September
Yeah.
27th. 27th.
Yeah.
I knew it was in the 20s. So the next kind of library-wide event. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So that's all I've got. So the next thing that we have is just to adjourn. So may I have a motion in a second?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Who's got the second? Sullivan?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Discussion, I'm sorry, discussion. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned at 7:46 PM.
Wow.
Thanks, everyone.